Okay, this is pretty random, but I decided to drive my truck from St. Louis to Virginia to go get my motorcycle because I miss it, and I left it there when I came here almost a year ago to build this truck and move back. The truck, which you probably can't see because it's dark, has about 850 miles on it. The trip to Virginia is 950 miles. It's about midnight, and I'm just gonna stop every once in a while and give the update. Me and Dad just changed the oil on it. He gave me a box of tools and a jack and some stuff to help me save the day whenever the inevitable happens and something goes wrong. But I guess this is the real test. If all goes well, then within a few days there will be about 3,000 miles on the truck instead of 800. And if all goes wrong, you'll get to see it. So fuck, I don't even know. This is scary. But hey, everybody needs some adventure every once in a while, right? Let's get moving. As you can see, I made it 100 miles. The temperature's fine, charge is fine, the oil pressure's fine, the blinkers work. I don't have to put oil in every 20 miles. So it's quite a bit different than the trip that I took last time. If you remember the way back in video number 1, this thing barely made it. It's going strong so far. Initial thoughts, my gas pedal's a little bit high. My ankle hurts like a son of a bitch. I have to like rest it just right. So I need to adjust where the gas pedal is. Haven't driven it this far in one sitting, so that's gonna suck. Fortunately, Dad had the idea to go to Walmart and get some basic weather stripping from the hardware section. It's still cold as fuck. It could be better, but it would be way worse if he hadn't thought of that. So thanks, Dad. That was a good idea. So far, so good. Right now, I just passed through a township called Cornfield, Illinois. It's about 300 miles wide. And actually, I just passed Mount Vernon. So I'm basically taking Interstate 64 for 1,000 miles. And I just passed the intersection with Interstate 57. So you truck drivers know exactly where I'm at. So see you in another 100 miles. Well, it begins 150 miles away from St. Louis, first gas stop, and I realized that in St. Louis I forgot something kind of important. Guess I gotta buy a roll of duct tape and hope for the best. Fuck, man. What a hell of a way to start. Well, hopefully that keeps the rain out, and maybe, well, it probably won't keep the gas in, but the rain out is the goal. My first ever $9 roll of duct tape. So, holy shit. What a fuck up. Spit. What a fuck up. And it looks like these video updates might stop pretty soon, because this battery ain't gonna last forever, and I'm pretty sure this motherfucker ain't wired up. Well, it's 7 in the morning. Sun's about to come up. I am between Louisville and Lexington. This is holding up. Probably gonna take a nap to avoid rush hour in Lexington. I just barely beat it in Louisville. A little over 300 miles. Doing good. Pretty cold though. Okay. Let's get this show on the road. Well, I am in Ashland, Kentucky, just shy of 500 miles in. Truck's running fine. It's starting to really sink in though that I didn't hook up the stereo. That was a misstep. Should have got that done. It's getting really mind-numbing and boring at this point, but hey, I've done worse. I'm just gonna go on the record and rank truck stops on their level of unshittiness. I'm gonna put Love's top, I'm gonna put Flying J in the middle, and Pilot at the bottom. So there you have it, in case you didn't know.
Hell yeah! Got a bad haircut from a lousy barber. Must impress my schoolmates, must impress my schoolmates. Got a new nameplate from my new employer. I must impress the industry, that's why they call me Secretary. Got a bad haircut from a lousy barber. Must impress my schoolmates, must impress my schoolmates. Got a new nameplate from my new employer. Must impress the industry, that's why they call me Sex Machine. Got a bad haircut from a lousy barber. Must impress my schoolmates, must impress my schoolmates. Got a new nameplate from my new employer. I must impress the industry, that's why they call me Sex Machine.
Okay, we are 585 miles in, halfway through West Virginia, or as I like to think of it, 1962. So this was the main thing we were worried about, the hills and the elevation with the carburetor not working right and the, West Virginia sucking. And I guess I didn't realize you have to pay to get onto the worst roads ever, so I'm glad I had some cash. But honestly, so far, Leroy's making West Virginia his bitch, and I hope that holds up. I know the other half is worse than this half, but I've had no issues so far, and I hope that remains the case. Getting ready to head into the home stretch. We've got 300 miles left or so. I think we might make it, but god damn it, there's no wood to knock on, so I'm gonna go find a tree. This road trip is brought to you by Monster Energy Drink. Are you unhealthy? Do you have no natural energy due to nutrition? Worry not. Just put 4 of these down and you'll get halfway across the country before you know it. Also brought to you by Cinnabon. Have you given up on ever being attractive again in your life? Has the caffeine from your Monster Energy drink worn out? Great, have a Cinnabon. You'll have such a horrible stomachache you'll never sleep. There's no way you could humanly eat 2 of these, but you have to buy 2 because 1 is $4 and 2 of them are $6. And who's gonna let a $2 cinnamon bun escape their grasp? Not me. And by Rain-X. Are your windshield wipers out? Does the wiper motor cost $100? Who has money for that? Try Rain-X. Well, I'm in Norfolk, Virginia, and I'm about to roll 1,000 miles on this trip. I've made it. Leroy did it. We're here. Woo! That's right. So, here in a minute, I'll show you my other baby, the brass asshole. Yes, you heard right. The brass asshole.
Continue on London Bridge Road for 4 miles.
This is the brass asshole. This is what the whole trip was about. Getting this back. I'm gonna say hi to the dozens and dozens of YouTube viewers. He said hi. I'm in Virginia still. the land of murder and molasses. And I'm heading back to this area. I've been here only 20 hours and I'm going back. Got the bike loaded up. Alright, well, here's nothing. Alright, I've made it about 250 miles away from Hampton Roads. Hooray. I'm at a place called White's Travel Center, which is outside Staunton, Virginia. I stopped here on the way through the other direction. It's pretty much like the coolest truck stop I've been to other than that one in Wyoming. If you've ever driven through Wyoming, you know what I'm talking about. It's the thing that's in Wyoming. But anyway, this one's like a mall for truckers. I always like these places. Truck's doing fine with the load. Motorcycles riding great, and it's honestly, other than being a little bit lower, it just feels like it did without a load. This thing is a beast. It hauls with no problem. It's slurping probably a little bit more gas, but not horribly noticeably much. It's getting similar gas mileage for the most part. Hopefully I can keep pouring Monster down my throat and make this trip, and if so, I'll have put over 2,000 miles on the truck in 3 days. If that's not passing the fucking test, I don't know what is. So I'm really happy with how it's gone so far, and I'm gonna go get something to eat and press on. Well, I'm out of Virginia, hopefully for the last time ever, but the downside is now I'm in West Virginia, and it's late, and I'm tired, and this is a scary state. It's nothing but fucking hills. But I'm gonna do it, because you only live once, and, you know, Earl Ray Tomlin would be proud. The last song that I heard at a gas station. So now I get to cross the state of West Virginia with an old ass Macy Gray song stuck in my head, and I'm really considering just going off the rails and plummeting down a mountain to my death, because it would be a far greater fate than crossing the country with Macy Gray stuck in my head. Thanks a lot, 2003. Sucks. Okay, I'm stopped here at Beaver, West Virginia for 15 gallons of gasoline, and I thought it might be a good time for some pro tips. Pro tip number one, it gets fucking cold out here, so if you have no weather kind of material, make sure that you get some gloves and bring them with you, because on the side of the road, at the convenience store, highway robbery stations, cheap gloves are so expensive they'll make you want to steal them even if you're not a thief. So like $15 for these cheap gloves in some places. And then when you finally do find a gas station that has some, and you're like, yeah, $2 for a pair, cool, and then the guy at the counter will go, yeah, they're all right-handed, we got a bad shipment. And then you're like, oh, that'll be uncomfortable. So pro tip number one, turn one of them inside out and you suddenly have a left glove. $2, not bad. Pro tip number two, we already know that Monster will get you across the country and keep you awake. But how do you get across the country in the fastest way possible? That is called Tropicana orange juice, the big bottle. But Bob, you'll say, I have all the essential vitamins and nutrients I need in my Monster. Why would I want any of that icky healthy shit? I'll tell you why. Because this is the perfect size for something that I know is interesting to you or important to you. Because this is the perfect size for something I know is relevant to you. Because through the magic of Google Analytics, I know that my audience consists of old men with prostate problems or young men and developing prostate problems. And this is the perfect size for slipping your manhood into and peeing while you go down the road, with the side benefit of, hey, it's pretty warm and you can just let it sit there for a minute. It's especially important if you're like me and you have to pull your pants down to like basically your knees in order to convince your body that yes, it is okay for you to pee right now, even though, you know, you're driving a car. The third and final pro tip, I'll spare you a visual aid, but I'll just recommend that if you do grab a handful of clothes for an impromptu road trip across the country, make sure it's not all t-shirts, because your underwear will get nasty feeling. But if you don't have time to stop and wash them somewhere, keep in mind that if it's 10 degrees outside and you've got a motorcycle in the back, you can easily tie your underpants to the handlebars of your motorcycle for about 20 miles and they will get frozen. And when you freeze your underwear, it freezes all of the germs and nastiness out of them, so then you can wear them again and feel somewhat refreshed. It's not my idea, really, it's just science. Well, that's enough pro tips. Time to put some gas in it and keep going. I'm in Kentucky. I want to take a nap because it's raining. My windshield wipers don't work. It's stressful.
Jump up, get down, jump dance with the moon, living our voice, ABC. Dance nearby, whoa. Dance far away, now clap your hands. So the letter of the day, clap, clap. What's the letter, clap, clap, what's the letter, clap, 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 clap. What's the letter, what's the letter, what's the letter, what's the letter, what's the letter? The letter of the day is G. What's the letter of the day, whoa.
Here in Indiana, got like 2 states to go, and looks like I'm burning or losing some oil a little bit. Nothing horrible. Temperature's still good, and oil pressure is still good, but I'm like a quart low, and there's a little bit on the transmission, so I could just have something loose. I don't know. I'm close enough to home that I'm not worried about it, but I'll check it out when I get home. And making decent time after I took my nap. I was a little loopy there for a minute, in case you couldn't tell. But I think we're in the home stretch, and even if something goes catastrophically wrong now, I'm totally within the area where my dad can just lose sleep by coming out to rescue me, so that's cool. I think I did gain some gray hairs in my beard, so I mean, that's cool. Okay, just got into Illinois, so I'm 150 miles away from St. Louis, and I'm experiencing my first major issue back in Santa Claus, Indiana, because every city, creek, and road in Indiana was named by a 4-year-old. I noticed that that leak I was talking about was transmission fluid, and I was 2 quarts low, got to a Napa before they closed, because everything in Indiana closes at noon apparently. I just poured 2 quarts in there. I was 1 quart low 60 miles later, which means it's a pretty good leak, but it's not gonna be catastrophic. I've got 2 spare quarts, and I just poured a bottle of Lucas in. And there's some important things to note with your C6 transmission, so let me point that out real quick. Okay. If you have this truck, your transmission takes F-type transmission fluid, and that means that you're not going to find it at most gas stations. Maybe big truck centers, but not just regular gas stations. They'll have stuff that's for Chevys that will tear your shit up. And of course this, you can find it at the auto parts store back in the back corner, covered in dust because nobody uses it anymore, and it's like $5 or $6 a bottle no matter what. My truck takes 4 gallons of it because I have a deep pan, so this kind of sucks. I'm not looking forward to taking the transmission apart. I'm pretty sure that Dad said he thinks it's a front seal, and it's not an expensive part. You just got to take the whole transmission out. So right now I've got some Lucas stop leak that I have put in to slow it down. This stuff is meant to just try to slow the leak down so I can get across 1 more state. and then shut this fucker down. So, wish me luck.